Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, November 3rd. Here we go. A reminder one last time that the custom called Bahab, where extra slichos is recited on the Monday and Thursday and Monday in the month that follows after a month that had a holiday like Sukkos, well, it begins on Monday, November 3rd. So extra slichos will be said in some shuls on Monday, Thursday, Monday, these next 3 days of Monday, Thursday, Monday. If you're in a shul that is saying those salichos, it is appropriate to join in with the shul and not say, oh, I don't have this custom. It's always most appropriate to join in the shul and share the custom of the shul that you're davening with. That's the way it's supposed to be. Now, we have switched the clock, and I want to tell you a couple of more laws that are related to timing and all that. The last time to say mincha now, always, is at sundown. And sundown has now become an hour earlier, according to most of our accounts, and therefore watch out for that. Whereas you used to daven mincha as late as like 5:45, now it's going to be as late as like 4:45 or approximately, depending on sundown in your area. If you ever see Hasidic Jews davening what seems to be after sundown, that's not just because they're lax about law. It isn't that. It is not that. What it is that they calculate Shkia, sundown, in a different way than a lot of us do. We might say that Shkia is when the sun disappears from the horizon, and there are other poskim that say that Shkia ends when the glow of the sun is totally gone from the horizon, and that's much later than what we call sundown, and that's why you'll see them davening mincha when it's already looking like sundown has passed. They might be calculating sundown differently, and according to them, sundown has not passed yet. Watch out for now, of course, like this Friday, if you're going to do any traveling right before Shabbos, as I am. I'm probably going to do it on Thursday night. If you're doing any traveling, then don't do your travel close to Shabbos. This is a law that applies all year round, but it becomes especially important at this time of year. If you're in Baltimore and you're heading for New York, and it's a 3.5-hour trip, and you want to leave at 12 o'clock, because you figure, oh, for sure I'll be in by 3:30 or 4, that's cutting it really tight. And the traffic jams can happen and flat tires can happen, and to just leave so close to Shabbos with only like 40 minutes to spare or something like that on a 3-4 hour trip, it's not right. It's just not right. There are many great rabbis who used to stop all their travels at noon or midday on Erev Shabbos. So please plan accordingly. Ask your rabbi if you're ever planning a trip that looks like it's cutting it close to Shabbos, and get guidance from a good rabbi. Don't say it's an hour and a half to Shabbos, so I'll make my hour trip now. I don't even like when people take their car to mincha 5 minutes before sundown, because what if, God forbid, you're in a fender bender 2 minutes before sundown, even though the shul was like 3 minutes from your house? Fender benders do happen, and you're going to have to sit there with your car, and the police are going to ask you for stuff, and it's Shabbos, so all traveling should really be curtailed in an appropriate amount of time before Shabbos arrives. If you ever are, God forbid, stuck in one of those situations where you didn't make it to your destination on time, please understand that you have this trick available before the sun goes down. You can't call your rabbi on the East Coast of the United States. If Shabbos is like 5 minutes away, he's probably not answering his phone anymore. Try to call a rabbi on the West Coast of the United States, because for him it's still 3 hours to Shabbos, and he might be able to answer your question about your emergency. But don't make emergencies, and don't get into emergencies. If you ever are on a bus or a train, it might be appropriate for you to stay on the bus or train rather than get off in the middle of nowhere, because you're not doing a whole lot of Shabbos violation by sitting on the bus or train. Again, this is not lechatchila. This is not what you should plan on doing, but it may be what you have to do if you improperly got yourself into a jam. Getting off the train or bus and walking 30 miles to your destination is not always the right solution, because you're not allowed to walk more than 2,000 cubits. That's about 4,000 feet outside of a city. And staying in your car overnight on a Friday night on a lonely road can be dangerous, so you may have to ask for help from the police, or I don't know. But these are bad situations, and I'm telling you to try not to get into them, but I'm just telling you that those are some parameters. It is unsafe to stay on the side of the road, and for unsafety, you might be allowed to violate Shabbos, but you have to ask a competent rabbi about your particular situation, and don't get yourself into this situation if you could avoid it, and use that trick of the West Coast if you're in an absolute jam. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.